Hey everyone, this is Hafsah. Welcome back to the All for Art YouTube channel. I'm so glad you guys decided to join us today. Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys the very first step to creating a human face, which is turning it into abstract shapes. So I'm going to show you guys how to pick up the shadows, the 5 major shadows of the human face, and that'll get you jump started on your journey. So one of the most important things that old masters did to create such elaborate compositions. For example, we can look at the works of artists such as Da Vinci, Raphael, all of these old masters, these very acclaimed Renaissance painters who made such elaborate pieces, is that to make these, they broke them down into shapes. So when you squint at something, you can see its light and dark values, and you can kind of see shapes start to form. So once you start drawing and painting with those shapes first, and then you get into details, everything becomes so much easier. But the first step to doing that is learning how to see the shapes, which I'll teach you guys how to do today. So if you guys are ready, let's get into it. Okay, so to start helping you guys see these shapes in the human face, I printed out a couple of photos of people that I found on the internet, and we're gonna look for the shapes together. So take a minute and just squint at the photo. Just squint until you really can't make out much except for lights and darks. Okay, so when you do squint, you should see that there are about 5 major shadows on the face, not including the hair and some other things. And this man, I chose him because he's very, there's lots of contrast. So one obvious one is the eyes. So if I just fill this in like so, to show you guys that here it is. Okay, and then here's the other one. Like that, right? And then another one should be right under the nose. There we go. And then in between the lips, this is a major one. And then below the lips, this creates your chin, creates your bottom lip. So there's some other shadows here, I mean, mainly because of his beard, but usually you'd see some cheekbone, you'd see some contour over here, and under the face too, but I don't consider this shadow as part of the face. So if you're really thinking about it, there's 5 main ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you squint and see them, you can just see that there are these huge planes of dark. So if you saw it in this one, that's great. And we're gonna try one more. So she isn't as contoured and dark and as huge of a contrast, so it's gonna be a little bit trickier, but just remember the same shadows and look for the same darks. Okay, so if you take a moment to squint, even though it's subtle, you should still see this whole area in shadow, this whole area in shadow, under her nose in shadow. This one's very subtle. I mean, I think it was edited out, but yeah, she should still have something there. And then between her lips, this is always an easy one, and then below her chin, again, edited a little bit, but it's there. Okay, so now that we've been able to identify the shadows in some real-life example faces, let's just try doing one. And it's really easy, so all I'm going to do is just start out with a nice circle. Okay, well, it's definitely some circle. Okay, we're just gonna draw the oval, make it into a face shape. I just like this line, it gives me some guidance, but I'm gonna erase the inside a little bit so there's less stuff in there when we put in some of these shadows. And we're gonna remember our 5 main shadows. So we want one for this eye, and I'm just gonna put it in. And one for this eye. Again, just put it in. It doesn't need to be perfect. Then one for under the nose, which I'm gonna place it around here. Again, these vary based on every person. And honestly, these shadows are what really start to capture the likeness of a face. So if you get these shadows in the right place, you're already, half of the battle is already fought. and then right between the lips. Okay, and then right below the lips on the chin. Right, and there you can already see a human face just with 5 shadows. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. You really have to look at everyone's different proportions. For example, someone may have farther apart eye sockets, in which case this space is going to be wider and these are going to be farther apart. Or they could be closer together. Somebody's nose might be longer, shorter, their lips might be thicker, anything like that. So we really have to look out for that, but that's something to learn later. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys learned something. I'll see you next time.